Hey guys, Austin here, and welcome to the start of hopefully a new series. Co-host by me and someone else. Um, Not one of my other friends like Laz and them. Normally I would have them join me for this type of stuff, but they're not here, and they really are not interested in what I have to talk about. So I'm actually being joined by another fellow YouTuber, or soon to be anyways, Jonathan Gray, or as his YouTube channel name is...
Grey Wolf 13X.
Grey Wolf 13X. Hopefully you can find him. Pretty obligatory name, but oh well.
If you get to a channel with just a stop motion video on it, you've gone to the right place.
I'll just put a link to it in there,
Yeah.
and you can go check him out. So what this is we're talking about Avatar. No, not the crappy James Cameron movie, which, to be fair, it does have some great visuals in it, and it is better than the actual Avatar movie.
Yeah, but that doesn't take much.
Yeah, true. Poor M. Night Shyamalan. We're always cracking on him.
It's funny, actually, the creators and him are friends.
Really?
Yeah, he actually provided some of the music for the final episode.
Wow.
Yeah, if you listen to the commentaries, because I'm a big enough nerd and I've done all that, they talk about that.
Cool. But we'll be talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra, that universe and stuff like that.
Yeah, all the Avatar, Legend stuff, and the books, eventually.
Yeah, I gotta read more of the books. I've only read 2 books, I think, in the entire series. I forget their names, but it was like the ones that go on with the show itself.
This will just be explaining how the format of the show will go. We'll talk about what we'll talk about whenever the next one comes out. And this will just be our favorite characters, how we got started watching the series, how old were we, what's our favorite characters, and, etc.
Which show should we talk about first? Avatar or Korra?
I would just it doesn't matter in general, just like your favorite character from either, or both. How about just both? We'll just talk about both because they're pretty different shows. I don't really think it's fair to compare Avatar, Legend of Korra to Avatar, because...
Yeah, I mean, she already has that in, everyone compares it to, well, it's not as great, or it's better.
I don't feel it's as great, but then again,
I feel it's a different thing.
Avatar was a set story. They knew what they wanted to do. Book 1, they knew what they was going to do with that. Book 2, they knew what they were going to do with that. Book 3, they knew what they were going to do with that. Legend of Korra was a lot more of, we'll just kind of... It was originally supposed to be 1 season, and then they got asked to do a second, and then they got asked to do a third. So, that's kind of how that happened.
Yeah, but honestly, I actually really enjoy Legend of Korra. I used to think I wouldn't, because I thought it was just going to be, doing the same thing Avatar did. Mm-hmm. But surprisingly, from the first from the first season, you just fall in love with the characters. They're completely different, and even some older characters make a return.
I didn't love the series the first time I watched it, actually. I actually completely hated it. I think up until season... Well, I like season 1. Season 2, I think, is kind of low. And then I liked season 3 and 4. But I feel like, in the most part, if you judge it by the Avatar standards, it's not very good. But if you take it as kind of what it is, and it does have some really cool ideas. There's a lot of nice world building in Legend of Korra.
It's still got great animation to it as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the Avatar touches. It just has its own flaws you have to accept. But I love Korra. I thought she was a way better Avatar than Aang.
Yeah, but Aang didn't really get that much time that he needed to become it. If you look at the show, even though it took a couple years to make the show, and the show itself, it was a couple months.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, Aang was so much more of, I don't want to be the Avatar, and
Korra was just excited.
Korra was just yes!
Yeah!
I get to kick people's butts and be the good guy, yay!
Yeah. But I gotta say, one of my favorite avatars that was actually introduced because of Legend of Korra is the first Avatar.
Oh yeah, that beginning episode, that is great.
He was cool just to see how the Avatar thing started and the lore behind it, and getting to see the turtle lion things come back. I love those things.
Oh yeah, I mean, the way the turtle lion was first introduced in season 3 of Avatar: Last Airbender was so much not what they wanted. They wanted something massive. It's almost like they wanted a forest on its back. And, showing signs of ancient civilizations, but they didn't have it in the budget, and, the ending 4 episodes or 5 episodes of Avatar...
They're really good.
They are really good, but they were so expensive. Every firebending you see was hand-drawn, because it made it look more flamey. That's legitimately why they did it. One of the co-creators of the show actually came down to help them draw the fire. A lot of crazy stuff in there. Oh yeah, I could go on for forever with random facts I know about the Avatar universe.
Then we wouldn't have a reason for the rest of the podcast.
No, but these are just random tidbits, not really bits of episodes, just random bits of information why they did something the way they did it. But yeah, let's go on to how we got started watching the series.
You should go first since you're older.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so much older. Back in my day. But legitimately. The time I started watching the series, it's kind of weird. I went to go to a private school for a while called Highland Christian. It was a terrible school, but I went there one day, and I remember everyone was talking about Avatar: Last Airbender. I did not watch the series at that point. I think only maybe the first 5 or 6 episodes had aired. I think at that point. I'm not sure because I couldn't tell you a date. But anyway, everyone was talking about it, and I had learned about it. And then I caught the first 2 episodes, part 1 and part 2, of when Zuko shows up and all that stuff on TV. And I fell in love with it. And I watched what I felt like most of season 1. Turns out it was not anywhere near all the episodes of season 1. But at the time I felt like I watched all of season 1. I didn't feel like I was missing anything. I was missing a lot. But that's beside the point. And then I didn't really watch much of season 2 or 3. And then it was around the time Legend of Korra came out. I kind of got re-interested in it. Never picked it up. And then I randomly went to a mall one day, and they had all of Avatar: Last Airbender and the first 2 seasons of Legend of Korra on sale. And I got all that for $52, which at the time was a great deal.
Yeah.
And I brought them all home, and it was my last year of high school. And I watched all of it through, and it was just such a great thing to do, because you were following this Aang, reaching his destiny, and you're like, I can relate. And I've loved this series ever since.
For me, I never got to watch the first season because I didn't have any TV then. I started watching when it was on its 3rd and final season, but I didn't even catch it. And although I thought it was cool, I loved the whole idea of fire bending and air bending. It wasn't until the movie came out that I started to really like it. And I loved the movie at the time, but then I went back and I watched the show, and I was like, wait. That's the movie to this whole epic series, and they made this a movie?
Yeah, I remember when we went to go see that movie. Originally, your aunt promised to go see Predator, and at the last minute she started me and goes, we're going to go see Avatar. I was like, no.
Summing up the prequels of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But,
No, at least the prequel Star Wars movies doesn't make you want to commit suicide.
Well, it depends on who you are and what your opinions of Jar Jar Binks are. But the Star Wars prequels didn't really ruin the whole Star Wars thing, and I feel the movie sort of was just terrible.
I feel like the movie had lasting impacts on the series, because originally the way they ended in the original series, I'm stuttering, sorry about that, was The Search, which is one of the books, which we will talk about. The original basis of that was a screenplay they had written for a movie that was going to explain the final season. When Zuko goes to his father and asks him about his mother, that wasn't meant to be the ending. That was supposed to lead into a movie that was going to officially end the series. But
so
that never got
to Batman
funded.
Beyond, then.
Yeah. Although Batman Beyond wasn't the last thing in the Batman Beyond universe. That was after season 2.
Of Justice League.
No, of the
Avatar.
series.
My bad. But, what was I going to say? Well, I had a friend named Zach, still do, but me and him we came across it on Netflix and we started watching it, and I loved the series way more. And I started playing actually some of the games. The games for the Game Boy Advance, have you played those?
No, I've never played any of the games. I've wanted to, because they look awful, especially the ones on the PS2. They just look so bad.
There's a bit of fun to it as well.
I'm not one who finds terrible games fun. I just find them terrible.
No, it depends. It definitely with the Avatar games, it's not really more about the game and its looks and stuff. It's more about the story in it. Mm-hmm. But if you want a game that feels okay, and that, definitely recommend trying to get the Fire Sun game, which is a bit of a strange one. You can find emulations for it, but it's really fun to play. Mm-hmm. But who's your favorite character overall?
Oh, easily Zuko. I mean, I have a T-shirt of him on it, so he's Fire Nation. Awesome. I like fire. I mean, I named one of my Magic the Gathering decks after him, so Fire Lord Zuko is definitely my favorite character. And also, I really like Iroh. I can really relate to him.
Iroh.
Especially after reading the books, there's a line, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a line, if you've read the book Smoke and Shadows, you know that it's just such a touchful line. You read it and you almost want to burst out into tears, because it's so sad.
How did you feel when they brought Iroh back to Legend of Korra?
I was very excited. And it made sense, too, because I have theorized that there's something about Iroh that we don't know, and I don't think they're ever going to fully explain it. Because if you notice, I can't remember, I think it's the one where they find the panda spirit.
Panda Spirit.
Where he's captured by the Earthbenders. I can't remember the name of the episode off the top of my head. But he gets captured and he sees Aang riding Roku's dragon. And you know he sees it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just coincidence. Like, he completely focuses on it. And you see in the animation he knows what that is. So I'm thinking he has connections to the spirit realm he's never revealed to anyone. And that's why he's in the spirit realm.
Explain somewhat why he is a bit more... A lot of the Fire Nation, you know how they were? They were all tough and serious, but Iroh was more laid back and...
Yeah.
Trying to focus more on...
Well, he was like that, and then his son died, and that would change him. Spoiler alert.
Maybe it's because his son died is why he wanted to get in touch with the spirit world.
Yeah, I think that would make sense, because, man, that episode, Tales from the Ba Sing Se, is definitely one of the sadder episodes in Avatar. That one is so sad.
I think I love Zuko, especially now that like he's older and stuff.
In Legend of Korra.
And he's still got the Zuko personality.
Back in my day, I sent a combustion bender after him.
Yeah.
What?
And it's just funny because, you know, he was the villain and he turned good at the end because he saw what he was doing was sort of wrong, almost.
Well, I think it was he saw what his father was doing was wrong, not his actions, because Zuko never really did much besides changing Aang. That was considered evil. I mean, he stole the bird in season 2.
His sister was super evil.
I mean, Azula
She killed Aang.
Yeah, for like 2 seconds.
And then Katara
brought him back with spirit water, and that's what saved him. That is a crazy episode, that whole ending to season 2. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love when he's talking to Iroh, and he goes, "Is it wrong that I gave up cosmic power for love? And I find cosmic power is overrated." I mean, yeah, I'll agree with you. Personally, I would go with cosmic powers, but you know.
I think Peter Parker would agree with him because he was the whole cosmic guy for a bit there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely, I think Zuko and Iroh definitely. I mean, all the characters. I mean, and Toph, Senpai Toph. He's the best. I'm the greatest Earthbender, and you're all gonna have to deal with it.
I wish we could like. I can't say anything yet because I haven't officially finished watching Korra. I've got one final season to watch and then I'm done with it. But, Johnny, I need a yes or no. Will I get to see Toph?
Yes, Toph shows up in season 4. And
I love Toph.
She is the same size somehow. Like, in season 1, they do the whole flashback and she looks taller and like an older version of the younger self. And then in season 4, somehow she shrinks.
Well, I can't wait to see that.
She shrinks. It's like... Whoa, you don't quite look like what you did in that flashback.
I think my favorite, like if we're going for the original Avatar series, my favorite character is Katara's brother.
Sokka?
Yeah, Sokka. Sorry, I'm getting him confused with someone else. Because Sokka is just hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Are you Team Boomerang or Team Moonsword?
Moonsword.
Me too.
I love the Boomerang. The Boomerang's fun.
Yeah.
But the Moon Sword's just awesome.
Yeah, it was so cool. And I hate how, because I watched Nostalgia Critics' video, like, top 11 worst Avatar episodes, and he named the Swordsman episode the worst. I was like, no, the Moon Sword! It was
and
so
how he
cool.
gets, like, the bracelet made to give to Toph.
Yeah, because he had a little bit of meteor left. And she's like, oh, thank you.
I'm still surprised she could bend it, but I guess it is technically same
She's
helmet.
the strongest earthbender. She can do whatever she wants.
She invented metal bending.
Yeah, I mean, if there was just a spin-off series, which was just Toph going around kicking people's butts,
I would watch it.
Like, somewhere there is a storyline where she fights Boomy, and I've never read it.
That would be awesome, because they're both considered some of the greatest.
Like, there's one in the Avatar Lost Ventures, which is just a compilation of comics from the series as it was getting pushed out. And they do kind of start a fight, but they don't finish it because they almost tear apart the White Lotus camp. It's like,
poor White Lotus.
wow, I'm the greatest Earthbender. And it's like, no, I'm the greatest Earthbender. He goes, you want to prove it? And then you see every White Lotus member go, why is the earth shaking?
I love Boomy because he's that funny character and the wise old man at the same time. He's everything you want.
In one character.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's so great, I think. It's just him, and it's like, welcome to Old People Camp.
I like how Aang named his son after him, as a son nod to his friend.
If you watch, I didn't notice this the first time I watched, or like the 7th time I watched this, but the 8th time I watched that episode, King Boomy, if you notice, every time he tells a joke, listen very closely to the audio, you can hear a light cough. He's like, let us go. Let us leave. And you hear it in the background.
Yeah, I've heard the coughs as well.
Oh, it's so... I never noticed that. I rewatched that. I was like, oh my god. I was dying laughing every time I heard it. Just like, oh.
Because no one finds it funny.
You can't find that not funny. It's so random.
It is. But King Boomy himself was a random character.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I like how they tied him in. I like how he was friends with Aang and he lived so long to be able to give Aang advice.
Yeah, he's 110 years old, yet I wouldn't want to fight him. He's like Master Yoshi levels.
He's Master Yoda levels, in my opinion.
I mean, Roshi,
the quirky character when you first meet him.
Yeah.
But very wise and stuff. And it's just like,
yeah.
I actually, without Boomy, I don't think Aang would have had ended the Fire King the way he did by taking away his bending.
Yeah.
Because before, Aang was always, when he got there, he would have had that set path to have to kill him, and, Aang's not okay with that. But when Boomy was giving him the lesson to think out of the box.
Yeah.
Which helped him to find it.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of... And, a giant lion turtle that gives you the power to bend people's elements so you can take it away.
Lion turtle!
I'm going to be fair for a second. When I first watched the ending of Avatar, I was like, what kind of Deus Ex Machina bullshit is this? And then I actually did research and rewatch, and I was like, no, actually, that makes a lot of sense. Like, the ending.
I really appreciate the ending to Avatar, because I feel it is a perfect way to end with Aang's character.
Yeah, I just didn't like the fact the lion turtle just randomly showed up and gave answers. It's like...
I liked the lion turtle. He was my favorite part about the episode. Next to the ending when Aang goes all, Avatar spirit sort of thing, and he uses the comet's ability, and he just takes away the powers, and that was epic as well.
Oh yeah, that subtle moment right before it's like almost all of Ozai's infection is going to infect him, and then he's able to fight it back at the last second. That was really cool.
What about the movie?
Just jizz all over.
We've already talked about the movie.
Well, we won't talk about the movie. The movie doesn't exist.
Because it sucks. Yes.
Especially
They actually did a prequel book.
For the movie?
Yeah!
Holy crap!
I was looking for more Avatar books because I had bought a bunch of them. And I was like, there's got to be more. And I remember I was reading The Lost Adventures, which is a compilation they did of all of the comic books they put out. And it said in the back, Zuko's story. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. So I looked it up. I was like, oh, this looks cool. Wait, Zuko looks funny. Why does he... Oh my god, it's a prequel to the movie.
Holy crap.
I mean, it might be worth looking at just as far as, how terrible is this?
At the end of the movie, when they put Azula there, they did it, by that point, if it was going by the TV show, it would have been okay, but they wasn't.
No, you get to see Ozai. You're not supposed to see Ozai until, the final season.
I know.
He's supposed to be just clouded.
Like
and
the
Mark
black,
Hamill.
mysterious figure.
Yeah, and Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill is an amazing voice actor.
Yeah.
I actually had a video up a while back called Top 5 Reasons Why You Should Love Mark Hamill. Mm-hmm. I had to take it down, however, but before I did, Mark Hamill actually got to watch the video, which was awesome.
How did you know he got to watch the video?
Because he left a comment. And it was his official YouTube.
I mean, okay, that's cool. What was his response? I'm going to DMCA your ass?
No, he actually responded, great video. Love Mark Hamill too.
He loves himself. I figured he would. I mean, yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff they did wrong with the movie. That could be a fun, 100,000 subscriber special. We will torture ourselves with the book and movie. And it'd just be...
I would love to actually have just a sequel made of the movie.
He says he still wants to do it.
Well, I would actually go and watch it just to see if he learned from the last one.
I don't think he would.
Well, actually, if you look at M. Night Shyamalan's movies here recently, they've been really good.
Yeah, they've gotten better, but it's he would have to redo everything. And one, I don't think Avatar lost money. It didn't do well critically.
No.
But I don't think anyone would touch it. It's just, it's a strong medium, but it's a strong property, but it's a strong property only animated.
Yeah, and the comics, but the comics aren't as well known as everyone can name the TV show, but not everyone knows there's comics.
I didn't know the comics until after I watched the series, and I only learned about the Search, and then from the Search I learned about the Promise, and then I got them all. I have them all right now.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to put out a new one. I'm super excited.
Oh, that'll be cool.
North and South. Not North and South, the South Pole. They're going to go back to Katara and Sokka's home.
Oh, that's cool. I really, don't like the fact, I wanted to see more of Aang in Legend of Korra, but maybe that's it. But I'm also glad they only showed him in flashbacks.
I'm kind of happy he wasn't in it, because I felt like it should have been more Korra's story.
Yeah,
I feel like if you
obviously,
showed too much Aang,
it would just be
my
fan
question
service.
is, why is it that the statue that's in Republic City that's supposed to be of Aang looks so feminine? Have you ever really looked at that thing? It looks feminine. It's like, did they use the female actor as the model from the play?
Maybe.
It's like, what's wrong with this?
That
Like,
could be it.
it does not look like Aang at all. Well, it
Yeah.
does, but it's like, wow.
Honestly, I thought it was more of his son, to be honest. Because you ever notice his son? I guess it's because he was genetically like that. He's Aang with a beard. That's all they did to change him.
He's more than that. They didn't just make Tenzin's head. Aang had a very round head.
He did. What was up with that?
I don't know. Maybe it's because he was such a young child. I don't know. Maybe something about monkhood. Also, why is Katara one of the few remaining old characters? Like, Aang is dead and Sokka is dead, and they were both younger than her.
Well, Aang has to be dead for Korra
So
to be
Korra
there.
exists, obviously, but how did he die? Like,
I know. Will they ever explain it? I
my
don't
theory is Katara poisoned both her brother and Aang because she got tired of their terrible jokes. She's like, one more of your damn... Blood bended them down a cliff.
Actually, I think one of the ones that I saw that I thought would be the reason he died. You remember? I think it's in season 1.
Of Legend of Korra?
Yeah, of Legend of Korra. You know the guy who's taking away people's abilities?
Amon?
Amon, yeah. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of his name for a minute there. Amon's father had fought with Aang, right?
You're thinking he's energy corrupted Aang?
Maybe.
Because I heard that theory and I don't think that would have happened. Because no way was that guy any more evil than Iroh is. I mean, not Iroh.
Iroh's evil. You heard it here. Johnny confirmed it.
I mean, hey, he's in the spirit world. He could be doing whatever. We don't know.
He has tea with all those spirits that
Yeah.
can change based off emotions.
Well, Korra's emotions, because she's part spirit.
Yeah, but it wasn't just Korra's. Like, it was how people perceived them at the time as well.
Yeah.
Which is strange and cool at the same time. It's something that's not always done or seen.
Yeah, I like how they changed their animation style as well to go along with that.
Yeah.
But that's Legend of Korra. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I don't really feel that theory. I think, like, if anything, he may have just died randomly.
Old age?
Old age? I mean, yeah. I mean, he lived in an iceberg for like 100 years, so hard to say what that does to your body. Like, the kind of, like, maybe rapid aging idea.
Maybe.
Like, maybe eternally he was older than when he looked on the outside.
That would be interesting. I kind of want to see him die of old age, but also I want that epic battle for Aang because
I
he's
don't
Aang.
want to see that, because I think any way you show him dying is never going to be really satisfactory, because
No,
if he
guess
just
not.
dies solemnly in his sleep, which is, I think, the best way to do it. I think if they're going to kill him off, I think that would be the best way. You know?
What happened to Sokka?
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
I want Sokka.
You
Is
see
he
him
dead?
in one flashback, you see a statue of him, and that's it.
Is he dead or is he alive?
I'm going to say he's dead, because Katara, I think in a part in Season 4, which I don't think you've seen yet in Legend of Korra, she says, I'm all that remains. My brother is gone, my husband is gone.
Dang it! I love Sokka. I would have loved to have Sokka train Katara. I mean, not Katara, but Korra, because you know.
I mean, it wouldn't really make sense for him to train Korra, because Korra's a bender. Like, maybe he could train Azumi? Maybe they just killed him off,
I mean,
because really, he doesn't work. Like,
Well, he's different. No, what I mean by training is like, you know, when she gets her fire bending. I mean,
Yeah.
not her fire bending, but all of her bending taken away. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. You should have.
well, she doesn't get all her bending taken away. She gets all her bending.
Well, yeah. But she gets basically her bending taken away, and she's super sad.
Yeah.
At that point, rather than just have it end there with the airbenders come back, if they had kept Sokka around, he could have taught her how to fight with a sword and became the master and stuff, which would be cool because, you know,
I don't think that would have worked.
I would.
I mean, you could have, but I don't personally think that would have worked. Put down in the comment section below whether or not you thought that would be a good idea or not.
Because, I mean, maybe it's just because I really like Sokka and I don't want him to be dead.
I like Sokka too, but I don't. Maybe they just killed him off because there's nowhere he fits in the story. Like,
That could be
Asami already had all that training. Like, a big part of Legend of Korra was they skipped ahead of all the training bullshit. Like,
Oh, yeah.
from
Well,
bad.
minus the airbending.
My bad, not ad friendly.
It's okay.
I mean, they skipped
No one's
ahead.
gonna really sponsor me all the time.
Skipped ahead from like all the training for all the characters because all of them already have their training. Like the only training we really see is airbending, and it's not a very main focus. But my God, was Amon like a great villain for season 1?
He was a great way to start it out.
Oh yeah, he was terrifying.
Like I really would like. I'm glad they sort of did with Amon the way it happened.
Yeah, the dignified death. Like that was such an emotional moment. Like
that was.
You see him like put on the glove and then unscrew the gasoline cap, and just right before he ignites it, you see him crying because he knows what's going to happen, but he doesn't do anything to stop it. It's like, damn.
God.
The feels are real.
I know, and that's what actually hooked me on Legend of Korra, because the whole first season is what got me. Like, I mean, I watched it just so I could say I've watched all the Avatar stuff that I could. Mm-hmm. But when I saw that, I knew this show is definitely a show for me, because I'm one of those people who really like those solemn moments.
Yeah, I mean, that is very...
shows.
Season 2 didn't really have a lot... I did have the whole...
Season 3 is probably the weakest one for me.
I like Season 3 better, because I thought...
Well, I mean, I like how everyone gets
what's his
the
name?
bending and stuff. I forget his name, too, which is strange. We should probably go back and do the character research more.
Yeah, we should look up names. But there's so many names in Avatar.
I know,
We'd be here
like,
all day. The leader of the Red Lotus.
Yeah.
Him, like, I think his name, like, Azir or something like that. Azir, yeah. He's just... I liked his character. Just this whole, like, spiritual mumbo-jumbo. And just... He was so cold and calculated. Like, the way he did everything. And, like...
Yeah.
The way that season ends, I almost feel like he purposely let his girlfriend die to see if that gave him the power of flight. Because for him, he respected power over emotions.
That he did. Although he did like his girlfriend.
Yeah, he did. But it's like almost like the way that scene leads up. Because I rewatched it recently with my girlfriend. My real life girlfriend. And just the way that scene lines up.
I like how you had to actually put in my real life girlfriend.
Yeah, it's not like some random... just the way that scene lines up and the way he acts. Because it's animated. Like, nothing is, like, not put in there, not purposely.
Yeah.
It just almost seems like he lets it happen.
Sort of how, like, if you go back to Star Wars Force Awakens, spoiler, but really, can I call that a spoiler? Cause,
I mean, it's been out long enough at this point.
Yeah, where Ben Solo stabs his father, or if you're one of the people like me who like the theory that Han Solo of killed himself.
Yeah, let himself die.
So that he could bring his son back to the light.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel it's sort of similar to that. Like,
yeah, it's like he lets it happen because he knows he has to empty himself, and that's how he's going to empty himself by letting her die. Because she's the only thing he loved more than his power, and once she dies, he like just walks off the cliff and then flies away. It's the most surreal moment. We're first watching that.
Yeah.
We've spoiled so much right now.
It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
we'll have to put a spoiler alert in the description and like at the start. Like if you don't want everything spoiled.
Well, then you probably shouldn't be here anyways.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it regardless.
Yeah.
But I think we've covered our favorite characters.
Yeah.
Should we do favorite moments so far?
I mean, we can do favorite moments. I definitely could name a few.
All right, go ahead.
The Storm episode where it like shows how Zuko and Aang's lives are sort of linked in a sort of way.
Yeah.
Like how Aang ran away from his life because he didn't want to be the Avatar, and Zuko was kind of punished because he outspoke himself out of rank and got himself permanently marked, and the two are kind of symbolically linked that way. That and the Blue Spirit episode, like that whole episode's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, the one where like Zuko saves Aang.
Yeah, but he's all dressed up and you don't know it's Zuko until the very end. That one is... And then the Blind Bandit episode, like the whole early bit with the wrestling, because that was linked to wrestling. You know who did the voice for the boulder?
Who?
Mick Foley.
Mick Foley?
Yeah, for that episode he did the voice of the boulder.
Wow.
It's crazy. Like, I didn't know that until I was watching the commentary on that episode. And then, like... You see Toph, how she, like, fights, and then, like, the prequel episode where you see her take out everybody.
Toph is, again, just
so
awesome.
amazing. And crazy tidbit, her style, because every character in the series has, like, a style. Like, most of the Firebenders are Northern Chinese style. Most of the Earthbenders are Soft and Crane and Lion. But Toph is different. She actually uses Mantis style, which is a very rare style in China because it was only around for a very short amount of time. The funny thing is, the tradition of Mantis style, the way it got started was, it was actually first taught by a blind woman.
Wow.
So it's crazy that
symbolism, because she's blind as well.
Yeah, it's like, it's so weird. And they didn't know that. They just brought in a guy who knew it because they thought it would be a unique style for her. And then to find that out was so crazy.
Yeah, that is cool. I did not know that, but that is awesome because Toph is blind.
Mm-hmm.
And she's sort of like the Daredevil, almost, except better because
Yeah.
I like Daredevil, especially how they're doing it with Marvel. But if you give me Toph or Daredevil, Toph.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, those are some of my favorite moments. What's your favorite moments?
In season 1...
And you can't just pick the end of the series.
I'm not going to, because that is probably one of everyone's favorites.
Yeah, that's just too easy. It's like...
I'm not going to pick the first, because although I love the first, and it got me hooked on it right away with the first episode, well, first couple. I think in season 1, definitely, where they go to the airbending place, and, I mean, not airbending, but when they go to the earthbender place, and the earthbenders are being put on that iron barge.
Oh, yeah, that episode.
And, like, to see how, like, Katara, I keep confusing her with Korra for some reason.
Yeah,
maybe because they're both from the Water Tribe.
They both start with K as well.
Yeah. But Katara, to see how she acts when seeing all of this, adds to her character more. And then I think, for some reason, I've always liked the bloodbending episode, where Katara meets
the
the
Puppet
other
Master episode. That is such a surreal moment, too. Like...
just to be able to take someone's blood and...
bend it. It's so cool.
It is cool, but creepy at the same time. It's... No, that wouldn't work. But it is definitely awesome. And then where Toph gets kidnapped and she discovers...
Or metal bending, yeah, that, like, she keeps feeling it. And right as Monk Gyasha was talking about how metal is just earth, but purified.
And then she boosh.
Yeah. And they're like, what's that? And then they get imprisoned in there. And he's like, I gotta pee. Oh. Did those guys ever get out?
I don't know.
They
I would
haven't
hope.
said anywhere in the canon, so I don't know, but...
Well, I mean, it's just something that... It's something you want to know, but also not important enough to know, so... I would hope, because it would suck to be stuck in there. But yeah, I think that's really all we got to talk about. What are some topics we could talk about during this show that's going to be happening?
Well, definitely, the way we're going to be doing it is we're going to talk about, on the previous episode, we'll be talking about what we'll be going over. For now, we'll just be going over the first season of Avatar, which will be whenever we put out the next episode. We'll be rewatching that and re-talking about it, taking notes, and then we'll talk about just our brief feelings on the season as a whole, what we felt like each individual episode, which will be quick 1 or 2 minutes, what was our basic thoughts on that, and then we just give, a brief overall thumbs up, thumbs down, whether or not we really enjoyed the season or we didn't really, which probably be a lot of thumbs up.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe
it's
like
kind
a
of
lot
biased.
of middly thumbs, maybe.
I mean, like I said, when it comes to like the whole Avatar sort of thing, including Legend of Korra, by far the series that I really don't like is Series 3 of Legend of Korra. And I know you like it because of the character, but I think it sort of fell a tad bit short. I mean, there was amazing moments there, and Boomy finally getting bending.
Yeah.
Which did add to his character, but also subtracted from it.
Yeah, because he's the only he's now no longer the only non-bending son of an Avatar.
Yeah, and I figured that was awesome. I mean, a bit unfair to him, because he's named after a famous Earthbender and King, and his dad was the Avatar, but I feel like it made him a different character. And then when they gave him a bit of airbending, although the humor's still there for him, and you see him take on more responsibility as the series goes on.
So it's one of those things. Like, I'm really more interested in what they're going to do with the book series, because they have the first book series coming out soon. It's going to be Turf War of Legend of Korra. So that will be very interesting. That will be very much the final nail, whether or not Legend of Korra can hold up better. Because I feel like Korra, because they were limited to such small seasons, and they really didn't have much, that with book form, it's one of the few places that can really expand more. Like, I almost feel like Korra has the potential to shine more in book form than Avatar ever could.
Oh yeah, especially with the cast. I mean, although Avatar had a great cast,
they were by the end, were so well defined that there's not much you can really do more with them.
Yeah, but with this new cast, there's still so much we don't know about them.
Yeah, and there's so much growth you can still do. Especially with Korra and Asami becoming a couple at the end, which... Well, maybe I was just blind to it. I didn't realize that's what would happen at the end. Huh? I didn't realize. I was blatantly just, like, going, oh, okay, that's cool. And just been off with my day. I didn't even notice it was like, oh, they're lesbo love now. No, I didn't even notice.
That's a spoiler for me. But something I guess to look forward to.
I mean, it's like, they just turn around, hold each other's hands, and smile. Like, maybe it was just too subtle.
That would be cool, actually.
You gotta beat me over the head with this stuff. You can't be subtle with it.
Yeah. That's actually pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I mean it is, but
I mean,
sorry about that. I didn't mean to spoil that.
it's fine. I actually sometimes enjoy spoilers.
I figured it was one of the things you already knew because the internet like blew up over that.
No, I've been waiting to see the 4th season, but like I said, I haven't been able to because Amazon.
Well, I'll loan it to you because I
Alright.
have like 2 different versions of it.
I've been wanting to see it, but that seems like a very cool way to go. I mean, personally, in season 3, I don't really see it happening, but there's still so much to do in season 4 that I guess I could see that happening eventually.
Well, I guess we'll wrap this up now.
Yeah.
This has probably been going on for like 1 hour.
I don't know. I haven't kept track, really.
Oh, well, you failed, Austin. You failed.
You
Well,
have a watch. I don't.
I don't have it on.
Oh. Well, we're going to end it anyways.
Alright, so...
So, when do you
this
think we
is-
should do the next episode?
when we can.
Yeah, we'll just do it when we can. And we'll see you then. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like.
Tell us all the things we did wrong.
Yeah, and check out Johnny's channel whenever he gets stuff out there. We'll make that
Grey Wolf
happen.
13X.
And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.